All right, I call this meeting to order at 7:35 p.m. In attendance, we have everyone here. With that, we have next in the agenda, the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So the first thing that we have under the agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from the last Senate meeting. Are those minutes have been posted since last week? Is there any additions to the agenda from last week or last Monday, 2 Mondays ago? No? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? So moved. All right. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Okay. So minutes approved. Next is the approval of the agenda. Before they approve the agenda, I do have a few additions to the agenda. Three would be the resolutions 09 2014-06, 05, and 07. I said that in weird order, but those are three different resolutions for in addition to the Constitution and new business. Are there any other additions to the agenda? All right. So all those in favor for the approval of the agenda? Or is there a motion to approve the agenda? All right, so moved. Is there all those in favor? All those against? All right, agenda approved. Next is the President's report. Just a quick report for everyone here. Tonight is going to be a very long meeting tonight, so just definitely be engaged. It shouldn't be that bad. It should be a lot of fun, actually. We actually have quite a bit of fun with an election tonight. With that, the student trustee position, we will be voting, so it's going to be a plurality vote. Or it should be a plurality vote as soon as we introduce it into the agenda or when we vote for it. Next thing about that, I want to make sure everyone realizes, I'm going to say this again before we vote, this position is extremely important, and I think Kunal's going to reiterate all this. And with that, we have 13 wonderful applicants that can definitely be wonderful at the job no matter what, but just make sure you keep it very professional. Make sure with the 3 questions that we have later today, I'm going to explain it to you. We have 3 questions, just keep them very general that every single candidate can answer. It's going to be very helpful for everyone when we do end up voting for this. So with that, I hope that's going to have fun with that. It's 4 minutes per candidate, 2 minutes for a speech, 2 minutes for questions as well. Next is we have an election commissioner application. We have the position of the election commissioner open. They will be open tomorrow afternoon, so look for applications online on the student government website around 3 or 4 o'clock. With that, we're going to be accepting applications up until October 22nd at 5 p.m. So if you are interested in the election commissioner position, please apply. Tell your friends to apply. We are looking for those who are very engaged in that kind of position. With that, if you do have any kind of questions about the election commissioner, please contact Anthony Walrab. Anthony, can you please raise your hand? And Molly Cole. She's over on the very far side. Thank you. With that, that concludes my report, and that's it. All right, so next we have open session. We have Gourmet Dining and their representatives. They do have 5 minutes to discuss and answer any kind of questions that they have for you. So Gourmet Dining, come on up. There's a mic there if you want to use the mic on the podium.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Fischbach. I'm the Vice President of Culinary Operations for Gourmet Dining, and I just want to speak to you guys a little bit about how the meal plan works and clear up any of the confusion that may be out there on how it works. One of my colleagues, George, came up with a phrase to best sum it up. It's called modify on the fly. Which is what we had to do. Initially, when we bid the account, we had spoken to students and gotten feedback and gone over what was asked for. So what I always like to say is we gave the students what they asked for, but not what they wanted. In short, what was asked of us is to come up with a program in which we can give you a straight exchange where you would not have to utilize any dining dollars or borough bucks, which we came up with, and it was limited selections. As we got feedback, we modified that to include more selections, and then as we got more feedback, what we ended up coming up with was a hybrid of what you had last year in addition to what was asked for this year. So you guys now have the ability to get a straight exchange. where you'll get a meal, a beverage, and a snack, be it a cookie or a piece of fruit, for no additional charge. But then you also have the ability to utilize that swipe and then get anything that you want for an additional charge. So example, Express. There was a lot of confusion over there. Express now, you can go in there, we've increased the variety that you can get for the straight exchange, but for $1.50 more, you can get anything that's in the case with the exception of the specialty sushi. So that gives you the option to get everything that's in there. At Grill Nation, originally it was just a hamburger and fries. Well, now there's 5 different options that you can get at Grill Nation, including a cheesesteak, for no additional charge, or you can upgrade for $1.50 to anything that's on the menu. So now you have the ability to not spend any additional money or the ability to spend additional money on that. And all that information is on our website. You'll see these cards going around that actually detail what you can get from where. The one thing you do want to note is last year you guys had 4 meal periods. This year we gave you 6 to shrink down the meal period times in between, because if you have an unlimited plan, you can go into continuous dining and swipe there all day long as much as you want. But the second that you utilize a swipe, you exchange a swipe for a meal at a location, you'll be locked out of using that in continuous dining or at another location for the remainder of that period. So that's one thing you guys want to note. Additionally, you'll see everybody should have a survey card. These are extremely important for us to be able to give you guys what you want or rectify any problems. Or even, if you like something, tell us what you like. The key to this is not so much the top part, but the comments part. In the comments, it's very important that you can give us as much detail as possible. A lot of times you'll get blanket statements like, the food was great, or the food sucks, or the food stinks, or the food was awesome. Those are all well and good, but they don't help us delineate what you guys really like or don't like or would like to see changed. So the key would be is if you had something you liked, let us know what you liked about it so we can figure out how we can get more of it or repeat it. If there's something that you're unhappy with, let us know what it is so we can figure it out. So an example would be, I was at the exhibition station and I had the pork loin with risotto and I thought it was great. Okay, we know you guys like that. We know what you liked about it. We knew where it was. Additionally, if you had the soup and you weren't happy with it and, instead of saying no good, just say, I had the soup, it was too salty, or I had the soup, it was bland. This way we know what the issue was or what was not liked so we can then rectify the problem. That's all I'm going to really touch on right now because I want to be able to get you guys some questions. But please note that there's 2 young ladies that will be at the back door looking to collect these from you guys as you leave. So if you could please make sure you fill them out, it would be beneficial for all of us. With that being said, I'd like to open the floor for any questions. You, sir?
How is Gourmet expanding their breakfast options?
Breakfast options and props.
Yeah.
Currently, props was not open for breakfast, and right now it's still not open for breakfast. It's something we can speak about, but based on what we, how we bid the account, that wasn't a place that was ever open for breakfast.
Well, I mean, like that late night.
Oh, late night? Oh, okay. Well, for late night, you have breakfast sandwiches available now. You have pancakes available based on the feedback that we've received. So all of those items are available now, and they are available for the exchange as well.
Awesome. I can take 2 more questions before time's up.
I've noticed that a lot of there aren't proper allergies. Labeling, out today I got a sandwich, all it said on it that there was eggs, bacon. Nothing was mentioned about cheese and meat freeze on the allergies or anything. I finished the sandwich and there was cheese. I have lactose intolerance.
Okay, where was that?
This was at the little satellite station in Rochester.
Okay, I will definitely address that. That's something that we usually take pride in. So we will make sure we get that rectified immediately.
Any other questions or comments? Take 1 more.
All the way in the back? Absolutely. No problem.
All right. It's easy as that, everyone. It's as easy as that. With that, that is the last question that we can. Oh, go ahead.
Just gonna make one last
Go ahead.
statement in closing. Guys, it's also, please know that we're here for you, and anything that you guys ask for that's within reason, we will do immediately. That's what we're here for. We're here to provide a top quality program for you guys. We can only speculate as to what you guys want and go on off the information that we received last year and we observed. But please know that if you ask us for something, we will do it. We will get it done, as long as it's within reason. And the examples I give would be simply what just happened. She asked for milk. That's a non-issue. That's something we can do immediately. You know, cereal. If there's a different type of cereal that you want, let us know. We'll get it. If it's something we can't get, we'll get back to you and say, hey, look, our provider doesn't carry that, but they have this. You know, something that would be unreasonable would be if somebody requested opening the cafeteria 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's, you know, not really 100% reasonable, and that's something that we may not be able to do. But, you know, things that you ask for, no matter how little or how big, ask. If you ask, chances are we'll be able to do. If you don't ask, we won't know and we won't be able to get it done. So please, we're extremely approachable, we're always around, and just ask, and we'll get what you guys are asking for.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you do have any questions, will you be in the back after the meeting as well? Or
I'm sorry?
will you be in the back also to answer any kind of questions? They're all sitting right there in the public area. So if you do have any questions, they'll be more than happy to answer any kind of questions. Thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right, next we have executive announcements. First, we're going to start with Molly, AVP of Government Relations.
Thanks. Oh, it's on. It's on. It is on. Okay. Hello, everyone. How's it going? So the annual voter registration drive is going to be next month, October 13th through 16th. It's going to be in the bottom of the Student Center. It's going to be those 4 days from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you want to register to vote, by all means, come out. I also need volunteers, though. So email me at sgagovrelations@rowan.edu. If you're part of a chartered organization, you can also get a service letter for this. So it's a win-win, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
So I'll be super quick. I just want to let you know the Facilities and Operations Committee will be meeting next Monday, October 6th, in room 303 of Bunce Hall. So it won't be in the Student Center this semester. We'll be over in Bunce. And also the Clean and Green Campus Beautification Project is going to take place on October 17th, which is a Friday morning of homecoming week. So if your group is interested in volunteering for that, it will be in the Rowan announcer, or you can contact me. If you get 50% of your members to sign up and participate, you can get a service letter for that, and we'll also be having T-shirts for the first 300 volunteers. Question?
What about Sabbath?
The garden. They ended up canceling. I don't know if everybody read the Rowan announcer, but we were supposed to plant a garden in Savitz last week. Facilities ended up canceling, and then they canceled again. So I'll keep everybody posted when we do end up planting that garden. But it'll probably be separate from Clean and Green. It shouldn't take that long. Any other questions? All right.
Hi guys, hopefully you can see me over that podium. Not very tall. Okay, so first I just wanted to remind you guys again that the SFCB signature forms, turn them in as soon as possible. Most of your clubs have, but in case they haven't, make sure you get on that, just because you cannot access your funds until that form is in, so we can verify signatures with all of your financial paperwork. Second, class and academic senators, again, I believe you guys were emailed, but I do need 2 of you to sit on the SFCB committee, so if you have any interest over where our extra supplementals go, please email me, because I do need 2 of you on that committee. On that note, supplemental requests are due to my mailbox no later than Monday, October 6th, that's next week, by 3 p.m. I know a lot of you have been emailing me about them, so please relay that information to your clubs. And also, another thing I want to clarify is the late payments definition that I went over at the treasurer workshops. A lot of your presidents and e-board members have been emailing me asking, or very worried about being 2 days late with their paperwork, but you only get those 4 points for late payments if a vendor has to contact the SGA office about a bill and inquire where the money is, but that's not going to happen if you haven't paid it within a couple weeks, so don't worry about that. And lastly, I just wanted to make you guys all aware and thank Gourmet Dining, because they did sponsor the refreshments outside at this and every Senate meeting, so thank you to Gourmet Dining. That was not something that was done last year. We had to pay that out of our accounts, so just want to let you guys know. And that's all I have for me. Any questions? Great.
Hi everyone, I'm Christine Collins. I'm the Executive Vice President. I just wanted to remind you guys that the deadline to update the database for clubs is tomorrow. The link for the database is in the club calendar that I sent out to you guys. So if you don't have that, just let me know after Senate and I can get it to you. Also, I've had some questions about the first quarterly progress report. It's October 28th. So just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm the AVP of Academic Affairs. And regarding the survey last week, about 85% of you wanted to have the reading days and 15% of you were against it. This past week, I did speak to the Vice President Provost, and she is in the process of forming a calendar committee, and she's taking everything into effect. So that committee has not been formed yet, but when it is, I will be on it and I will give you updates. In addition to that, last year, the Dean's List notification was passed in a resolution, and she is following up. It won't be a paper document because it's too expensive, but it should be emailed, and I'm hoping to get that for this December. Additionally, with her, I spoke about, I'm so sorry. All right, and I'll be contacting each dean with each academic senator this upcoming week to discuss possible advisory boards and each school making all teachers aware of trigger words, because it came to our attention that sometimes videos are played and it's not warned before. I also had a meeting with Dr. McAuley to talk about the RSN scheduling on our network, as well as the tutoring center, and we're looking for ways to promote that on campus. I also spoke to, relating to academic success, the president of the math tutoring club, and I will also be speaking to her advisor. So if you have any concerns, feel free to email me at sgaacademic@rowan.edu. And one last reminder for my academic senators that the meeting will be in Student Center 128, not the SGA suite. We did get our room back, so that's it.
My name is Anthony Warr. I am the AVP of University Advancement. I'm here to let you guys know that I met up with Gourmet Dining about some of the concerns that I overheard while online at Muscle Maker and different places on campus. So those were addressed, and we're still working with them to try to make sure that everybody's concerns are addressed. If you guys do have any further concerns, you guys can email me at sgaunivadvancement@rowan.edu. It's also going to be posted up there later on after this meeting. Also, our committee meeting for University Advancement will be Monday in room 129 at 7 p.m. If you guys are interested, what we'll be planning on is our senior week. So any seniors that want to be on the committee for your senior week, to make it really fun and a great week and have the best way for you guys to graduate, we'll be working on that. We'll also be working on our senior class gift. So if you guys are interested in that, please come out to the committee meeting. Again, that's next Monday in room 129 at 7 p.m. And also, if anybody's interested in joining my committee with the Glassboro officials about making the campus more homey and more Rowan atmosphere, so that when you do get on campus, you do know that you're here at Rowan, I will be sending out emails for that to everybody here tonight. So if you guys are interested, please make sure that you email me back. Last reminder, if anybody has not sent me their club photo of either your members or your executive board, please do that tonight, as tomorrow they will be going to the printer. And if you're not there, I'm sorry about that.
Hello everyone, Ryan, AVP of Student Affairs. Committee meeting will be on Monday, October 6th in Robinson 100, aka Dewey Lounge. Things we'll be discussing will be a shuttle running bi-weekly to either Walmart or ShopRite. We'll be talking about the football game tailgate on October 11th, hosted by ProfBack, and any issues regarding the Wellness Center.
Hi everyone, I'm April. If you haven't signed in, please do so at the end of the meeting. I don't like pointing you all if you're here. It makes me feel bad. Also, if you didn't get tonight's agenda, if I didn't email you, please come see me so I can get that email so you're all aware of what's going to be going on in the night. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. Any questions for any of the AVPs? All right, thank you very much. With that, next we have on our business is unfinished business. We do have something from unfinished business from last week, and that's Resolution 2014 Oh, I'm sorry, it's 09-2014-02. It's the open at-large senator position. I think it was introduced by Jamie and Anthony Walbrough. If you want to go up and explain it again, just so we can refresh everyone's minds.
So this is actually for the voting of this resolution tonight, because if you remember a couple weeks ago, we presented it. Since it's a constitutional change, we weren't allowed to vote last time. It was just the first reading. So now you guys are able to vote on this after we present it. I'm just going to read through it real quick, and then we can take a couple questions, and then you guys get to vote. So, whereas holding elections for the class senators during the spring semester allows senators to be better prepared for the upcoming year and promotes easier transitioning and retention, and whereas holding elections for the class senators during the spring semester prevents transfer and non-traditional students from applying to class senator positions, and whereas adding 4 non-specific class senator positions to be elected in the fall allows opportunities for more students to get involved in the Rowan Student Government Association, and whereas the at-large senators could represent a variety of backgrounds and student demographics that include transfers and non-traditional students, therefore let it be resolved that the SGA add 4 at-large senator positions to the Constitution and bylaws under the University Advancement Committee. Therefore, let it be resolved that the at-large senator positions hold elections at the beginning of the fall semester and be open to all students for voting. Do you want to explain it?
So basically why we did this was because we had a lot of people come up to us that they can't get involved, and also if any senators that did apply to become a class senator didn't make it, this also opens up that door for them, that gives them an extra chance to get their foot in the door with student government. Does anybody have any questions?
All right, with that, we're going to open up the voting for this. With it, all we need is 2/3 for any kind of constitutional change. We do need 2/3 vote. With that, we're going to do a hand vote. Or actually, sorry, before we vote, any discussion? I totally forgot the discussion part. Is there any discussion over this position? No. Okay. With that, so I'm going to go back to it. We need 2/3 vote. We're going to vote by hand. So raise your not hand, but raise your placard. We're going to have Tyler and Molly count. All the numbers, so we can make sure we get 2/3 out of that. So all those in favor to pass resolution 09-2014-02, please raise your placard. That's clear majority, but we have to count anyway. All right, all those against, please raise your placard. All those opposed? One opposition, okay. All right, so with that, resolution passes. Thank you. All right, with that, there's no other unfinished business. Next up, we have new business. The first thing under new business is our student trustee election. So with that, can we open up student elections up? Where? Yep.
So I move that in order
All right, there's a second to the motion. All those in, any discussion? All right, so let me just, because it sounds like everyone's kind of confused with this, so we should quickly explain it. So in our Constitution, it says that we have, in order to vote for a position like this, it has to be majority vote. In order to get majority vote, you need 50% plus whatever percentage it is, plus one generally. With that, we do have 13 candidates. In order for us to get through all 13 candidates, one of them needs to have 50% plus some. And that might never happen, essentially. That's essentially what we're going with. And there's also nothing in our Constitution that gets rid of the lowest person in our voting in the elections. So it means that we have to continue going until we get the 13 to have someone have the full majority vote. With that, the motion is not just vote by majority, but plurality. Plurality is essentially voting with whoever out of the group of 13 gets the most votes wins. So is there any discussion with that? Go ahead, right there. Good question. Andrew? Okay, so I guess so this is the motion to amend the amendment to change it from not just plurality, but to essentially do two different types of elections, 2 votes. So a round to get rid of essentially 11, and then 1 round of voting just to find out who would win. Am I getting that correct? Sounds about right. Okay, good. Comments about that? Okay, so the amendments, no? All right, so this discussion for you guys, everyone here. It's discussion for everyone here. So discussion is maybe just instead of the top 2, top 4. Any other discussion with that? Go ahead. All right, so I have top 3. Is there any other discussion over there? Okay, so I'm just reminding everyone we're debating whether or not how to vote, whether or not we should use the plurality or not, essentially. Is there any other comments? Way in the back. Rob, good. Okay, so we still have top 3 on the table too as an option. Is there any motion on the table to amend that? Go ahead. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that motion so everyone can kind of understand what's happening. It's a vote by plurality for the first round of voting. We get the top 3. Out of the top 3, we vote again, and out of the top 3, whoever is the majority of the top 3 wins the election. Is there a second to that motion? Second. All those in favor? All those opposed? All right, so that's how we're going to do it. And this is why 13 people is going to take a long time, everyone. Anyway. So with that, we're going to begin our elections. Kunal, can you explain everything?
All right, just a brief overview of what the board is, what you guys are voting on. You guys are voting on the voting student trustee on the board of trustees. So ultimately, the board of trustees is the ultimate governing body of Rowan University. They control the four campuses Rowan has, and basically anything that needs to be approved or wants to get done by each campus has to be ultimately approved by the board. So whether it's the two medical schools, Glassboro's main campus or Camden's campus, if you want a new building, a new degree, a new major, a new minor, they ultimately have to be approved by the board of trustees. So you are voting for the student trustee. Normally the process is you're the alternate 1 year and then the voting trustee the next year to learn the system, learn how to learn the documents and the methods, and then be the voting trustee. However, our current voting trustee graduated early, which vacated his position. We went through legal, and legally I can't move up to fill his vacated spot because I have my own term. So we have to fill, what happens normally when a trustee man or a woman leaves their position, we find someone to finish their term. So I can't be finishing the voting trustee's term. That's why we have these 13 candidates to fill the voting trustee's term. And that's what these 13 candidates will be doing. They will be being the instant voting trustee on the board of trustees starting tonight. Does anybody have any questions about that? All right, with that being said, can the 13 candidates please step outside of the building, outside of the ballroom and into the foyer area?
All right, everyone. So the first person I have is Matthew Bailey. Okay, Matt's going to come out. Again, I'm just going to reiterate the importance that after that we do have questions. With 3 questions. Try to keep these questions general enough to where you can see where they're going to be, but not specific enough for a specific candidate. Just because all these 3 questions will be repeated for each candidate. So just a reminder of that. Thank you. And with that, we have our first candidate walking in. Hey, Matt. All right, so again, you have 2 minutes to speak and 2 minutes for questions. You have the podium right there, and I'm going to begin your time as soon as you start speaking.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Bailey. I am a senior here, and I'm a dual major in management entrepreneurship. Why I want this position is because I want the opportunity to serve the students. I have grown up in Glassboro myself. I've been around this community for a long time. I've came and I've went many different times. I've lived overseas multiple times, and in all my experiences, I kind of feel like they have kind of all led up to this point for me to do something more with myself. Rather than just talking about things, I kind of want to put them forth into action. My qualifications for this position, I feel, are my creative abilities, my persistence, and just having the right essential attitude to do whatever it takes to succeed. How I apply my qualifications to this position? Well, when I wake up, I feel like I want to be the best that I can be. And I feel it's really important as Rowan expands and gets bigger that we don't lose the student voice, because the student voice is very powerful, and we have to kind of understand how powerful that actually is. Because as schools and universities get bigger and bigger, that student voice can be drowned out eventually over time. And basically, I would like to thank you for your time, and that's all. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to have 3 different questions, 3 questions in the audience. Anyone have questions out there? You're Josh over here.
No, I had not.
The question was, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting? All right, second question, right here.
How do you think people fairly represent
because I feel like I have a wide variety of friends. I've met people from all over the place, and I love to get to meet like everyone. I'm not biased towards hanging out with a certain group of people. I've had friends from all over the place, and I want to get to know everybody. So it's not something that, like, I'm always open to meet new people from wherever, and I have had tons of different friends. So I don't think that would be a problem for me.
The question, just to repeat, was to how will you represent everyone? Is that correct? Fairly represent everyone. Okay. All right, one more question. Bless you, it's not a question, but I'll take it. No. Any other question? Way in the back.
Specifically, I want a chance to serve the students, to be honest. I feel like it's a good opportunity to put myself in the position of a student, as I am a student. I have taken 2 or 3 different breaks from school, but I feel like all the experiences and the knowledge that I've gained along the way can kind of help me to put myself into every single individual student's shoes here tonight. So I feel like from those experiences, I can help serve the student to my best ability.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. That was it. Thank you very much. Let's hold the clapping and all that to the very, very end, just so we can have this speed up and all that fun stuff. So no clapping, no cheering. Not to be very sad and all that, but it just speeds things up. Next up, we do have Ryan Boonstra, who'll be coming up. Ryan, all right, so again, you have 2 minutes. I'm going to tap at 30 seconds, and you have 2 minutes for questions after that. The 3 questions we will give you after as soon as you're done. All right, so as soon as you start.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Boonstra. I know that many of you may remember me from last semester. This is my 2nd time running for this position. I'm now a junior here at Rowan University, majoring in law and justice studies. I was raised in a military household where my father served 26 years in the Air Force and saw 16 deployments to the Middle East. I bring this to your attention because being the oldest child in my family, I was called upon to step up and be the man of the house when my father was away. This caused my maturity and responsibility to grow exceptionally fast, and there are 2 qualities that I feel define me very well today. Currently, I have a 3.9 GPA, and I'm part of the honors concentration here at Rowan. I also do not present this to talk myself up. Instead, I present it to show you that I strive for excellence and perfection. The person serving on the Board of Trustees as the voting member is somebody someone who should strive to be the best that they can. I'm also very involved within the College of Humanities and Social Sciences by serving on the Student Advisory Council. This position is almost the exact same thing as the student trustee position, as I act as a liaison for my college between the student body and the deans. And I have influenced many of my college's new policies. I have great leadership experience serving as the president of the Rowan Pre-Law Society, and this has refined my organizational and time management skills and has also improved my formal communicational skills, as many of the people I am in contact with are far superior to myself. My internships have given me excellent experience in the professional world. I worked as a law clerk for the Department of the Navy's Office of Counsel, where I handled multi-million-dollar contracts on a daily basis. This was a high-pressure position, and the Board of Trustee position would require me to be in the same situation. It would also require me to read and interpret a great deal of paperwork, which I can assure you I did with the Navy. These documents needed to be prepared flawlessly in order to be submitted through the government bureaucracy system. My paperwork skills, attention to detail, and ability to perform under pressure will be vital should I be chosen to be this voting student trustee.
That's it. All right, with that, we do have 3 questions for you, 2 minutes to answer all your questions. With that, the first question was over here. Josh is going to ask you.
I've not been to a public Board of Trustees meeting. However, I have done my research as to what the board is involved with. Many of the members are actually from my hometown. They serve on a lot of the corporations that are in South Jersey, so I'm familiar with who they are and where they come from, and I know that I'd be able to catch up quite easily.
All right, thank you. Next question over here.
Well, I live off campus myself, so I know I can handle that population quite well. I also lived on campus for my first 2 years, so I know that perspective very well also. My position in the College of Humanities and Social Science is very similar to this position, just on a smaller scale, where I have to represent the entire college in front of the deans to help them shape the curriculum that they have planned out for the semester. So I would just apply that on a larger scale, and working with Kunal, I'm sure we'd both be able to manage well.
All right, and we had one last question way in the back over down there.
Sorry, what was the first part? My goals would ultimately be to represent the student population as best that I possibly can. I can't bring my own goals to the table because my own goals are not my duty. My goals are your goals. And as long as I know what your goals are, I can accomplish them on the Board of Trustees.
All right. Thank you, Ryan, very much. Please exit the room. I feel like this is like a game of like, I don't even know, some kind of game show here. Fear Factor almost. We can still laugh, everyone. It's not that serious. It is serious, but I mean, you can laugh. Yeah, no, okay. Let's start making fun of me. Next, we have James Case. James, I said it to the other two, but you have 2 minutes. I'm going to warn you at 30 seconds left, and you have 2 minutes for questions. The 2 questions are already set out. I'll ask the questions this time around. Thank you. And you have 2 minutes. I'll start it now. As soon as you start.
Hello, my name is James Case. I'm a junior mechanical engineering major running for the position of student trustee. Rowan University is currently in a state of rapid growth and expansion, but none of this would be possible without the countless hours that the Rowan University's Board of Trustee members put into their work. This is why now, more than ever, it is essential for the best possible candidate to be selected as a student trustee. So what exactly makes a great trustee? For me, it's 2 things. The first is experienced leadership, both within and outside of the Rowan community. Having been a resident assistant for the past 2 years, I've had the opportunity to interact and learn from a vast number of students, both freshmen and upperclassmen. I've acted as a liaison between the residential student body and the professional staff members. In addition, for the last 3 years of my high school career, I served as class president. With this position, I would often attend Board of Education meetings as a representative for our entire class. My responsibility was to promote to the board what was in the best interest of the class as decided upon by the students, and then to relay that information back to the student body. In addition to experienced leadership, the second quality that I believe is essential for the student trustee to have is passion. Passion for Rowan University, passion for the student body, and passion for constant improvement. Currently, I serve as the treasurer for the Prof Pack, a group at Rowan University that is just dedicated to demonstrating school spirit at Rowan athletic events. As a member of this organization, I strive to continually grow student pride by promoting events and encouraging new students to join. My passion for Rowan University is what pushes me to continuously work to grow and expand the size and reach of this organization. As Rowan University continues to undergo one of, if not the largest transformations in its history, it needs a student trustee that will represent the student body in the best absolute way. With my experience as a resident assistant, a high school class president, and my passion for the university, I am confident that I will be ideal for the student trustee position. Thank you for your consideration.
All right, thank you, James. All right, so there's 3 questions. Again, I'm going to repeat them this time just to make things speedier. The first question is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
Currently, I have not been to a Board of Trustees meeting. I have done my research and I have read the agenda from their last meeting on September 10th, where it was voted upon different directors and the different majors in the engineering that they approved.
All right, thank you. Second question is, how will you fairly represent all of Rowan University students?
I plan to represent Rowan University students by getting a good feel for what the general student body is feeling. I want to be the voice for the students, and I feel like from my experience as being a resident assistant, I've had this experience. I've had this experience of being able to convey what the student body is feeling to people who, the upper management and, I'm very nervous right now.
That's fine.
So right now, I just want to, I want to get your opinion based on what you feel is the best, and I want to be able to convey that to the Board of Trustees members. I want to be able to tell them what the student body is feeling. I want to be able to express what you guys want, what you guys are feeling, and I just want to make Rowan University a place that's open for all and open to everyone's opinion.
Okay, awesome. I have one last question for you, and you have 30 seconds left. What are your goals for the position specifically?
So specifically, my goals for this position are just as like I said. I want to be able to make the general student's voice heard within the Board of Trustees. I want to be a representative for the student body. I want to be able to listen to what you guys want, and I want to be able to convey that to the board so that we can make that happen.
All right, thank you very much. We're not clapping, by the way, for anyone, so it's okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
You can leave the room. All right, next thing you bring in Katrina DeFelice. Katrina, all right, so you have 2 minutes. I'm just gonna explain like everyone else. You have 2 minutes. I'm gonna explain, I'm gonna tap when you have 30 seconds left. You have 2 minutes for questions to answer questions. I already have the questions set out, 3 questions for you, so whenever you start, I can start the time for you. Yep.
Hi everyone, my name is Katerina DeFelice. I'm a sophomore public relations major and I am from York, Pennsylvania. I'm pretty involved in campus. I'm in the PRSSA, I'm a part of the pros staff, and I love Rowan. That's pretty much the reason I applied for the student trustee position, because Rowan is my home and I'm from Pennsylvania, so finding Rowan and seeing that, no one even knows about this hidden gem, it's literally just, I want to make Rowan as much as we want it to be and so much more, because it has so much potential, as we can see from the expansion that's already starting. So I'm just so dedicated to the students because I love people. I'm a PR major, so obviously I love to talk. So I love people. I want to get what you guys want, and I want to give it to the Board of Trustees, and I want to make a fusion to make the Rowan that everyone wants.
All right, thank you. All right, now we have 3 questions for you. The first question is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
I have not been to a Board of Trustees meeting.
Okay. Second question is, how will you fairly represent all the students at Rowan University?
I will fairly represent the students of Rowan University. I'm a very open person. I'd really like anyone, if I got the position, to please come up to me. Facebook me, Twitter, email, phone call, text. I'm really like to get involved with the campus. I feel like I'm very approachable. So if you are like, hey, she is the student trustee, I need her to tell the Board of Trustees this, really please come to me, because this is our school and we're making it, so.
All right, awesome. And the last question I have for you is, what are your goals specifically for the position?
Like I said before, I just want to make Rowan the best place it can be. I love everything so far, but I want more expansion. I do want it to still feel like home though, and I just want to make Rowan everyone's home.
All right, thank you very much. Me, leave the room.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, can you please bring in Andrew Goss next? All right, Andrew, I'm going to give you the same thing I told everyone else. You have 2 minutes to speak. You have 30 seconds left. I will tap the mallet, or the gavel. After that, I'll cut you off at 2 minutes, and you will have 3 questions posed to you, and you have 2 minutes to answer all those questions.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So whenever you're ready.
So hi, Senators. Some of you may know me already because I usually sit over there. I'm currently the academic senator for the College of Engineering, and I like getting involved in the SGA. I've been involved in a lot of government type things, student government, since high school when I was freshman year, one of the representatives. So I did a lot during high school, leadership positions such as editor, getting involved in the SGA band and such. But when I got to college, I decided to join a co-ed service fraternity called Alpha Phi Omega, And since then, I've developed a lot of leadership skills, as well as understanding for how assemblies work and how people basically govern themselves. And I feel that I would be a good student trustee candidate, or be a good fit for the student trustee, because I already know a lot of the things, such as Robert's rules. I know that some of you really don't, but it's what governs the Board of Trustees. And I have a knack for being able to read types of documents and understand what they mean. Because let's be honest, nobody's really read the Constitution or every single piece of legislation that the Board of Trustees passes. And I feel that I would be able to take all those complex ideas and simplify them so that I could present to people like you or anybody else and basically say, here's what the Board of Trustees wants to do. What are your opinions? And being able to be a good liaison between the Board of Trustees and the rest of the student population. And with that, any questions?
All right, so I'm going to ask the 3 questions to make it life
Oh,
easier.
okay.
Yeah. So the first question that the senators asked was, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
Excuse me?
Have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
I have not been to a Board of Trustees meeting because of class commitments. For previous semesters, I've had quite a bit of Friday classes or a lot of other work stuff, but since I'm in my senior year now, my schedule has opened up a bit, especially as an engineer. Junior year is the year that you bog down all your time with, but senior year, I've had a lot of opportunities. I basically have Wednesdays and Fridays off, so I would be able to make every Board of Trustees meeting. And I've been to similar types of meetings, so it's not, I'm not new to the environment. I'm very familiar with it. So even though I haven't been to a Rowan Board of Trustees meeting, I'd be able to pick right up what they're going on about.
Okay. So next question that was asked was, how will you fairly represent everyone at Rowan University?
So Rowan University is obviously very, very diverse. We accept a broad range of people. The first form of communication that I would use would be sitting up here asking at the meeting or listening to the centered concerns and trying to talk with people that bring up certain concerns that I could personally deal with as a student trustee. And that kind of is how I would use the Senate meetings a lot, because hopefully you guys can reach a lot more people than I ever could. Rowan is pretty darn big, and it would be hard to even just send out a 10,000 person email. That could take a while. And so if I really wanted to reach out, it would be through the Senate or setting up some sort of Google Forms questionnaire, and basically look at what the Board of Trustees is going to be talking about, get opinions through that and the Senate.
Okay, awesome. And then quickly, in 15 seconds, what would you do? What are your goals specifically if you get the position?
If I was to get this position, I would love to help Rowan University give the students a direction and give them a good voice for the board, because some people don't really know how to address the board, and I would hope that I could take all your ideas, all your feelings about everything that the board is going to be deciding on for the future of Rowan, because it is big, and be able to represent everybody fairly.
All right, thank you, Andrew. You can leave the room now.
I just need to grab something.
That's fine. Can you bring in Jamie Kistart next? All right, Jamie, I'm going to explain exactly the same thing I explained to everyone else. You have 2 minutes for a speech. 30 seconds left in your speech. I'm going to tap the gavel. After that, you have 2 minutes for questions. We have 3 questions set out by the senators already for you. With that, as soon as Andrew leaves, we can begin. Yeah, as soon as we close those doors. All right, so whenever you're ready.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamie Kistart. I'm here before you tonight to explain why I believe I would be the most qualified candidate to fill the vacancy on the Board of Trustees. One of the most important things to understand about this election tonight is that the student trustee will have a very limited amount of time to make an impact with the position on the board for the rest of the year. There's already been a lot of time lost with the fact that someone vacated this position and it's now open. The student body currently does not have a vote on the most important decision-making panel of the entire university. I have a very good record in SGA for accomplishing a lot in a limited amount of time. For instance, I worked on getting the library open 24 hours for finals last spring, had the lights fixed at the crosswalks on 322, and pushed for the installation of skateboard racks at the academic buildings, and many other projects. I am also the student representative involved in the plans for the design and construction of the new buildings for the College of Engineering and Business, as well as sparked the need for the development of a comprehensive landscape master plan. I already attend the Board of Trustees meetings regularly just to improve myself and keep myself informed generally as a student so I can do a better job with my job in SGA currently. So I already understand a lot about the position and would need less time training. Additionally, my experience and knowledge with facilities will help ease the transition onto the board. The agenda from the last meeting alone was 175 pages. So you need to ensure that the person you choose is dedicated and committed to the hard work this job entails. One of the most impactful experiences I had with the board was when a group of students came and asked for action from the administration with Project 4. Not only was it taken into consideration immediately, but since then several administrators have told me that it had a tremendous impact on them and that we should bring up issues to the board more often. In conclusion, I believe my passion for serving students and dedication to hard work makes me well suited to represent the student body on the Board of Trustees. Thank you all for your time and consideration.
All right, Jamie, so with that, we have 3 questions for you posed by our senators. The first question is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
That's a really good question. I'm actually one of the only students I've ever seen in public session at the Board of Trustees meetings that goes just to better myself and for fun. It's really not something I've ever seen a lot of other students do, but I attend regularly just to help with my position in SGA currently and just so I'm updated on things that are going on with the students.
All right, thank you. The next question is, how will you fairly represent all the students at Rowan University?
This is something I pride myself on with my job that I have currently, is that I take every single student concern into consideration. There's no such thing as a dumb senator concern or anything that a student brings forward. So no matter what is brought to me, I'm gonna look at it with complete objectivity and bring it up in whatever way I can. I believe that I'm extremely fair and that I have the ability to kind of remove myself and my personal values from issues so that I can make a clear decision and help promote whatever the best answer is.
All right, awesome. And lastly, the last question is, what are your goals for the position specifically?
Well, currently, last year, as I said in my speech, they came to the Board of Trustees looking to get action with Project 4. And that was immediate. Like, President Hushman's office took that and ran with it, and we have a center, like, currently. So anything like that, that students come to me, I know there's a need for a commuter lounge. That's something I've been already looking into with facilities, is that commuters really don't have a place to go on campus, and that's kind of a problem for us because we have a very large commuter population. So that, in addition to other things like water bottle refilling stations in the academic buildings and general stuff like that, that needs to be brought to the attention of administrators to make it better for all students.
All right, thank you very much, Jamie. All right, next up, we have Melissa Lamb. She'll be walking in. Also, you can just leave the room, Jamie. I figured I should tell that to everyone, kind of to be fair. All right, Melissa, so I'm going to explain the same thing I explained to everyone else. You will have 2 minutes for a speech and 2 minutes for questions. With 30 seconds left, I will tap the end of the gavel for you to know. And with that, we have 3 questions for you already posed by the student senators, and I'll say the questions for you. So whenever you're ready.
Sure. Hello, my name is Melissa Lamb, like the animal, but without the bee. I guess I should just say that, yes, I'm not wearing a blazer right now, but I do own one, but I'm wearing a very nice cotton cardigan, so that's something to look forward to. I guess I should start off by saying that I'm a senior at the moment, and I'm an MIS major, which means if you guys need computer help, I can definitely help you. Just make sure there's a comp sci major around in the vicinity in case Alt F4 doesn't work, so I just want to put that out there. I just want to say that as a senior, I think I've established a pretty good understanding of what it's like to be a Rowan student. For instance, if you see a man or woman standing near the crosswalk wearing a high visibility vest, they're not there to stop crime. They're there to give you a fake cautionary jaywalking ticket if you cross when it's yellow. So just be forewarned for that. I'd like to say that the student trustee position is one that requires you to be a liaison between the Board of Trustees and the student body. And I think that the work experience that I have is directly related to that. because over the summer I interned at the Federal Reserve in Philadelphia as an analyst. And in that position, I was meant to work with the IT team and then the end users, so the clientele that the Federal Reserve has. So in that position, I was supposed to listen to the issues and the comments of the non-technical users and then try to translate that into things that the Federal Reserve could deliver, whether it be new systems for them or new products for them to use while they're examining banks. So I think that has a direct correlation to what this position needs. So I would also like to say that over the summer, I also worked with a lot of different groups, and I feel like that that was very positive for me, because with that you learn different things about people and you are able to manage different personalities, and I feel like that would also be a benefit to that position. So thank you for letting me speak.
Look at that, perfect timing. All right, with that, we have 3 questions for you posed by students, our senators. With that, the first question is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
I have not.
All right. Second question is, how will you fairly represent all of the students at Rowan University?
In order to do that, I will make sure that I listen to everyone's opinions, see everything from the perspective of the speaker in order to find a solution that accommodates all parties.
All right, awesome. And the last question for you is, what are your goals for the position specifically?
My goals for the position is to make sure that what the students here only have 4 years on campus, less if they are transfers, and I believe that what they want and what their desires are should be met while they're here, and I intend to do just that while also accommodating the Board of Trustees.
All right, thank you very much, Melissa. Please exit the room. I said it a little bit nicer for you all right? All right, stop laughing at me. Anyway, next person we have is Catherine Catherine Light. I'm so sorry about that. All right, Catherine. I'm just going to explain everything that I explained to everyone else. Essentially, you have 2 minutes to speak. At the 30 seconds mark with your speech, I'm going to hit the gavel at the very back, so you just make sure you know what time it is. And you have 2 minutes for questions. With that, we have 3 questions already set out by our senators, and you just have to answer them after that. All right? So whenever you're ready, we'll get started. You can either or.
Okay, wonderful. Hi, everybody. My name is Katie Light. I'm a junior in biology and secondary ed major. And last year, aside from going to 2 Board of Trustees meetings and making connections with some of the board members, I was on the steering committee for Project 3. Now, Project 3 was the student initiative to get a women's LGBTQ and multicultural center on campus. And so what I would do is go to meetings with administration every week and plan and make decisions so that this initiative could come to reality and we could have these centers on campus. So what I would do before each meeting going in to talk to the administration is go around and talk to students. I would find out what their opinions were, what their concerns were, and what they wanted out of these centers, so that when I was going in to talk with administration, I knew what the students wanted, so I could let the student voice be heard through the decisions that were being made. And now we actually have these centers on campus. They're here, we just have a director. They're gonna be opening really soon. So I think that really shows I know how to work with administration to let the student voice be heard, to get what students want. So if you want to let your voice be heard on this campus, please vote for me. I'm Katie Light again. And now I'm not gonna waste your time by taking up the full 2 minutes. So if we can start the questions.
We can definitely start the questions.
Thank you.
All right, so the first question for you is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
Yes, I have. I've actually gone to 2. The first one I went to, I spoke at. And then the second one I just went for fun. I'm really interested in the Board of Trustees. I know some of them, I've made some connections with them. So I know what a Board of Trustees meeting is, and I have been to a few of them.
All right, awesome. So the second question I have for you is, how will you fairly represent the students at Rowan University?
That's a great question. I think I can fairly represent the students at Rowan University by talking with them, by having open office hours, by coming to Senate meetings and just talking to the students that are coming who represent the clubs, and also just by walking around and talking to students in class, just walking around the pit, asking them questions on, what's going on in our university.
All right, awesome. The last question I have for you is, what are your goals for the position specifically?
My goals for the position specifically are to represent the students, to make sure that students know what's going on, first of all, and to make sure that the decisions that are being made are with the students' best interest, with what the students want and what the students can get out of them.
All right, that was the last question. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't be afraid. Please exit the room, please. Next, we have Dante O'Brien. All right, Dante, I'm going to explain exactly the same thing I explained to everyone else. You will have 2 minutes to speak. At 30 seconds left in your speech, I'm going to hit the end of the gavel, so you know it's 30 seconds left, and you have 2 minutes for answer questions. We have 3 questions set out, ready by our student senators already. So as soon as you're ready, we can start.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Dante O'Brien. I am a computer science major with a mathematics minor. I would like to thank you in advance for being here and listening to me talk about why I think I would be a good representative for the voting student trustee. The Board of Trustees is a very important deal at Rowan. I work in the Office of the President as a student worker, and I actually deal with the Board of Trustee materials that they use during those meetings. I make sure that everything's put together nice so that the meetings can run smoothly. So I already know what they do during Board of Trustee meetings. Because I work in the Office of the President, I also have a lot of connections. Joanne Connor's office is right next to my desk. Dr. Hushman's office is right down the hall from my desk. I also have spoken to many of the Board of Trustee members on the phone before, and even some in person. I would also be really excited to have the opportunity to join some of the committees, such as the Budget and Finance Committee, the Audit Committee, and the Facilities Committee. My process to deal with some issues from the student body would be to take the issue to the appropriate committee, come to a resolution with the Student Government Association President, Joe Chen, and bring a resolution to the Board of Trustees. This is a very leadership-oriented role, and I believe my leadership is shown through my RA position. I've been an RA for 2 years, going on 3 now, and I'm also the vice president for the Rowan University Gaming Club on campus. My motivation that keeps me going is competition. I wake up in the morning and think to myself, how can I be better than yesterday's Dante? That's my drive to keep doing well as a person and to keep doing better. One time, my own mother even told me that when I was having trouble getting into Rowan, she said, you can take a year off or you can just go to community college. And I'm here at Rowan instead, though, so I motivate myself constantly. I would like to thank you again for listening to me talk. And again, my name is Dante O'Brien. Have a great night.
All right, thank you very much, Dante. All right, so with that, we have 3 questions for you. The first question I have for you, or by our senators, was, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
Question is, have I ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting? I actually have not. I'm usually actually in the Office of the President, taking over the phone lines because Joanne Connor, Dr. Hushman, Joan Gustin, and Teresa DeVekis are at the meeting, and no one is there to answer the phones.
All right, awesome. The second question I have for you is, how will you fairly represent the students at Rowan University?
How would I fairly represent the students at Rowan University? I would not deny a student the opportunity to speak and have an opportunity to get something resolved, unless it was completely ridiculous where even administration thought that it wasn't going to happen. There's always reasonable resolutions that can come across, and there's also totally unreasonable requests. But as for favor, I would definitely try to make sure that everyone's resolutions or concerns are addressed at least.
Awesome. All right, and the last question for you is, what are your goals for the position specifically?
Question is, what are my goals for the position specifically? My goals specifically would include being the voice for students and helping students get their conflicts resolved or at least looked at. Of course, we can't always resolve everything, but it would be awesome to have everybody's input go into these Board of Trustee meetings or even a committee meeting. Like I said earlier, I would definitely bring the issues to a committee meeting and then to talk with SGA President Joe Chen and hopefully bring a resolution to the Board of Trustees meeting that we can vote upon.
All right, that was the last question. Thank you very much.
Thank
Please
you.
exit the room. Next, can you bring in Antoine Porter? All right, Antoine, I'm going to explain exactly the same thing I explained to everyone else. You have 2 minutes as a speech. At the 30-second mark in your speech, I'm going to hit the end of the gavel, just like this, just so you know that you have 30 seconds left. With that, you have 2 minutes for answers for questions. We have 3 questions already set out by our senators, and you just answer them after that. All right, so whenever you're ready.
Good evening, Student Senate. My name is Antoine Porter. The SGA is in a very unique situation where you need someone to fulfill the responsibilities of the student trustee position immediately. Someone who is willing to get thrown into the deep end and confident that they can swim. Someone who has the tools to qualify to do this, not only survive in the position, but thrive in the position. And I feel like I meet and have the potential to expand on all these qualifications. The incomparable Rowan faculty has given me an immense amount of training that I believe greatly parallels the needs of the position. Between Professor Gary Guito, Dr. John Woodruff, and the residential learning staff, I have received problem-solving techniques, mediation tasks, and tips on balancing academia with being a student leader. But the most vital tip I think I've learned is building a relationship with your higher-ups. In crisis situations, this is no time for ego. You have to rely on your higher-ups because this is a team sport. And by doing so, you show those that you are dealing with that you are knowledgeable of the hierarchy and have faith and confidence in those above you, which is always necessary. But I'm not here to talk about my resume. I'm sure my fellow applicants are very well versed. They have tons of credentials. What you need, you don't need a list of paper full of qualifications. You need a person. When I transferred here, I would never have imagined what Rowan would give back to me. I spent my first 2 semesters being a ghost, waiting for someone to reach out to me, and I got tired of waiting, so I became that person. I became the person to reach out to a stranger, ask them how they're doing, ask how their day is going, and actually be invested in an answer. Wait that extra 4 seconds to hold a door for somebody. This position is not a sales position. You cannot talk somebody out of their problems with charisma. This is a customer service position. These are not products. These are students. They are people. They feel like they're not being heard. They need a voice. Please allow me to be that voice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dante. All right, with that, we have the 3 questions set out by our senators. The first question is, oh, I'm sorry, Antoine, I'm so sorry. Antoine, by the way, Antoine Porter. Anyway, so the first question I have for you is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
I have not ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting. From my understanding, it was only for State Senate, except for hearings, and I was never aware of any hearings to actually attend Board of Trustees meeting.
Okay. Second question, how will you fairly represent the students of Rowan University?
Can you repeat the question, please?
How will you fairly represent the students at Rowan University?
I think I could fairly represent the students of Rowan University by seeing them as students. Once you take away all the subsequent adjectives, at the heart, everyone is a student. So when you treat everyone as a student and not as an EOF student, as a student of the biological club, as any other student, as a student with disabilities, if you see them as just a student with needs and look at those needs and not the adjectives that comes before the term student, then that's how you fairly treat all the students.
All right. And the last question that the senators had for you was, what are your goals for the position specifically?
My goal to the position is to educate. A lot of students have no idea what SGA does, have no idea about the Board of Trustees, and so they don't realize how much power they have in their voice. So what I look to do is, I look to build these relationships with these students, let them know that their voice has power, and that they can expect change unless the change is made loud and clear and known to the SGA.
All right. Thank you very much, Antoine. That's the last
All right, thank
question. Yeah, please exit the room. All right, next we have Nico Rivera. All right, Nico, I'm going to explain exactly the same exact things as I explained to everyone else. You will have 2 minutes for the speech. With 30 seconds left in your speech, I will hit the end of the gavel, just like that, and that will mean you have 30 seconds left. With that, we have 2 minutes for questions. We have 3 questions set out by our senators already, and I will ask those questions. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Nico Rivera. I'm a senior accounting major, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming to this special night of Senate. I grew up in a little town in Monmouth County, which is in central Jersey, and I assure you there is a central Jersey. I'm the first of my family. I'll be graduating college, and I'm very grateful for everything Rowan University has provided me. I've been involved for the past 2 to 3 years on the executive board of 2 clubs as treasurer, as well as spending my time here at Senate as well. For Circle Clay, a volunteering and service club, and international club, which I helped get chartered as of last year. This Board of Trustees position is very demanding at times. This is from reading resolutions and budgets that could easily be a good 20 hours of work a week. All of which I researched and looked into a good deal by talking with the previous trustee, Julio, before applying to this position and get blindly thrown into something I wasn't capable or qualified to do so. I only have a handful of classes left and have the capability of balancing my work and business and professional life. So I've set aside time to do so. The last 2 years, I have been working at 3 jobs at any given time. Only one I've been working in a CPA firm and also accounting consulting business since part of my sophomore year, working with clients and professionals. If elected, I want to join the standing committees like the audit committee, which I want to help in, as well as the budget and finance committee. I've also been working with the school administration since day one of my freshman year, working in the Assistant Dean's Office of the College of Graduate and Continuing Education, or CGCE. I've worked and served as business professionals for the last few years. I want to the best of my ability, bring my experiences to this position and better communicate that between the administration and the student body to help this college grow in the best way that we can. Thank you, everyone. And once again, my name is Nico Rivera for the Board of Trustees position.
All right, thank you, Nico. With that, we have the 3 questions provided by our senators. The first question is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
Yes, the most recent one was September 10th. We went over most of the basic resolutions. It's usually held twice a semester. It was mostly osteopathic medicine, really just mostly, it's a lot of budget and financing approvals, so you have to look at all the approvals for most of the projects and usually stipends as well. So,
All right.
Next one's December 10th.
All right, awesome. Next question that they posed was, how will you fairly represent all the students at Rowan University?
Well, being here since my freshman year, I really got a sense of being actively in the student body, going around all different clubs, just really trying to find a fit through the community. I did a lot of volunteering service with Circle K, and also just getting a little bit of more of my major with the Accounting Society and a few other things as well. So I really know where the student body is coming from, as well as being working in the professional environment, as well as working in Philly this past summer with the chief accounting officer of
Awesome.
the bank I work for.
Sorry. All right, and the last question is, what are your goals for the position specifically?
Well, so far, this position is very demanding. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of reading. I'm not sure if a lot of people read into that. It's a lot of resolutions you have to do and look into the budget and finances of everything as well and understand what you're reading. So I really want to have a very systematic process, and this is my last year here at Rowan, so I've been balancing more than multiple jobs at a time, and only a handful of classes left. I want to give back to the student body as much as possible with their vision in mind.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much. Please exit the room. All right, next, can you bring in Christian Sullivan? All right, Christian, I'm going to explain exactly what I explained to everyone else. You have 2 minutes to speak. With that, you have 30, and when there's 30 seconds left in your speech, I will hit the end of the gavel, just like this, so you have 30 seconds left. With that, there's also 2 minutes for questions. I already have the 3 questions posed for you, and we'll just get started as soon as you get done. But whenever you're ready, as soon as we close the door. As soon as we close those doors. And whenever you're ready.
Good evening. What is it that you are looking for in a trustee? Are you looking for somebody that takes initiative? Are you looking for somebody that's a hard worker? Or are you looking for somebody that wants to make a difference? My story, it starts at Temple University, where the worst thing happened that could happen to any college student. I ran out of money. Growing up with humble means, my father lost his job, and I was paying my way through school. So I did what any college dropout does, and I started my own business. After doing that, I finally returned back to school, and I found the demands of school plus operating a business a little too challenging. So with that, I sold the business. Then I found myself earning 60 credits. I worked at a school, and then I ended up working 3 jobs, 70 to 90 hours a week. I paid off my student loans in 10 months at the rate of $15,000, and then I saved up enough money so I could return here to Rowan University. As a student trustee, I'm certain that within yourself, you see yourself as somebody who takes initiative. I'm sure you see yourself as somebody that is hardworking, and I'm sure you guys see yourselves as somebody that wants to make a difference. I'm certain of that because you're sitting here today. Aside from being a hard worker, I've also volunteered as a scout leader, and I worked as a volunteer cross-country coach. As a trustee, I would uphold all of those values, taking initiative, being a hard worker, and making a difference, and I will be ready on day 1. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, with that, we have 3 questions posed by our senators for you. The first question we have for you is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
No, I've not.
Okay. The second question is, how will you fairly represent the students at Rowan University?
I would fairly represent the students at Rowan University by understanding that it's a diverse community. I went through school, Paulsboro High School, and it's a very diverse school. And I understand that there are different socioeconomic statuses, there's different creeds, different races, and everybody comes here as a family at Rowan University, and I would take all of those into account.
Awesome. The last question that was asked was, what are your goals for the position specifically?
My goals for the position, Rowan is a fast-growing university, so I would want to ensure that all students are able to enjoy every resource that the university has to offer, make sure that the retention rate is a good rate, and make sure that the growth is sustainable.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Christian. That was the last question. Please exit the room.
Thank you, guys.
All right. With that, we do have our last applicant, Julia Thompson. Julia, I'm just going to explain quickly what I explained to everyone else. You have 2 minutes for a speech. At 30 seconds left, you're going to hear a tap from the gavel. That means you have 30. So just finish before the 2 minutes, essentially. And with that, you have 2 minutes of questions. Afterwards, we have 3 questions posed by our senators, and I'll ask you those questions after we're done.
Okay.
Yep. So whenever you're ready.
Good evening. My name is Julia Thompson, and I'm a full-time student here, majoring in human resource management. I'm not your traditional student, as I'm 28 years old, and I do work full-time as an administrative manager at a security alarm company. I've been employed there for the past 8 years, and my duties include processing accounts receivable for our 10,000 plus client base, managing weekly payroll for over 27 employees, maintaining all company licensing, overseeing acquisition integration, and providing administrative support to my general manager. As you can see, my professional experience qualifies me for the general duties of the position as they are defined by the Rowan Board of Trustees. However, this alone does not qualify me as a representative of the student body. As you know, the role of student trustee is a demanding twofold position that requires a dedication to the students, an open mind, excellent listening and communication skills, and a high devotion to improving the university as a whole on behalf of you, the students. I can stand up here and tell you that I possess those desires and skills, but if there's one thing I learned in life, it's that anyone can talk the talk. What I can assure you is that we all share the same common goal, the same reason we meet here every other Monday. We want more out of our experience here at Rowan. It's not enough to just go to classes and earn our degrees. We want to be an integral part in the developing history of Rowan University. I'll leave you with only one promise. If elected, I will do my absolute best to serve you, making myself available to you at every possible opportunity, listening to what you have to say, and bringing those concerns before the board. At this time, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you in consideration of my candidacy.
All right, Julia, thank you very much. We do have 3 questions for you posed by our senators. And the first question is, have you ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting?
I have not been to a Board of Trustees meeting.
Okay. And the second question is, how will you fairly represent the students at Rowan University?
Well, obviously I'm coming from a standpoint that I'm 28 years old, but of course I was at one time in community college earlier. I've only been at Rowan here for a semester, but I do feel that I'm very objective, and I feel that I'm very easy to talk to, and I can understand both sides of any argument, and I feel like I can be a great outlet for you to voice your concerns and be able to bring that professionally and communicate that professionally to the board.
All right, awesome. And last question for you is, what are your goals for the position specifically?
Of course, because it's a position that represents everyone, I don't have a specific goal, but I will tell you that in my research of the position, I did realize how little awareness there is about the SGA. Me, myself, last semester rather, when I came here, I did not realize how big the SGA was. I didn't realize that we have real impact in the decisions made here. And I feel like with 14,000 students, how many show up to these meetings? So my goal is, at the very least, to provide more awareness, to get our presence out there, to show that, I mean, think about it, 14,000 voices could make for an amazing university. And I think it's really important to spread awareness about the board and what we can do here together.
All right, thank you very much, Julia. Please exit the room.
Sure.
All right, everyone. Based off of the motion you all passed earlier tonight, please start voting. The top three will be introduced later on, where you will vote for your student trustee from the top three. Yes, one vote. One vote. Does anyone not have a ballot?
Wait, were you?
All right, just make sure when you're done, just pass it to the person, to a student government representative in the white polo. So as soon as you're done, pass it down or give it to one of the SGA representatives. Pass it all the way to the left. Left. I was gonna say right, but it's actually your left, so. Make sure you pass them. If you do not give in your ballot does not count. No. All right, everyone hand in their ballots. Anthony, could you pass out the extras, or can you pass them out again? Pass out, whoever doesn't know, pass them out again. Yeah, because we're doing too much. All right, everyone. So, with that, we are actually going to go into the next part, just voting on or not looking at the next resolutions while they count the votes, just so we can speed up the night. Anthony is going to go around to give out another ballot, so make sure you get yourselves another ballot just for another round of voting afterwards. So with that, we're going to introduce the three different resolutions. The three different resolutions for constitutional resolutions for next Senate meeting. All right, so the first resolution was forwarded by the executive committee. It was authored by Andrew Goss. The first one is Resolution 09-2014-05. It's a resolution to amend the Student Government Constitution's definition of parliamentary procedure. So let me just bring that up real fast. Again, we're just reading it and looking at it. There's no reason to vote today because this is a constitutional change. So this is not that. All right. Andrew, do you want to come up and explain your resolution? Yeah.
So I'll read it first. Whereas the way that a deliberative body such as the SGA Senate operates with regard to parliamentary procedure is a very serious matter, and whereas proper usage of parliamentary procedure is guided by the will of the majority but allows the minority to have a fair and fighting chance, and whereas the current SGA operates with regards to parliament procedure is defined entirely upon the executive committee and not the assembly, and whereas Robert's Rules of Order is a set of parliamentary rules that are used in an overwhelming number of organizations nationwide, therefore let it be resolved that, quote, meetings will run under parliamentary procedure as established by the executive committee, end quote. In Article 4 of the SGA Constitution shall be struck out and replaced with, quote, meetings shall operate under the latest edition of Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, and any provision that the Senate has adopted, end quote. So basically, I had actually found an old version of the Constitution that actually did used to say Robert's Rules, and somewhere along the line, somebody took it out. Basically, the way that the Constitution is now, the e-board could decide how they would want to run things, and that could be a good or a bad thing if you have an overly abusive e-board, or I'm not saying that these guys are, I trust these guys, but somewhere down the line, something might be bad, or they might want to suppress your voice. So Robert's Rules of Order has a large set of rules that govern discussion and how it can be treated fairly, where everybody has the right to speak, and that the chair can't deny people unless if it's for an overly excessive reason. And by stating that Robert's Order newly revised, it'll be updated whenever they release a new version. Right now it's on the 11th version. And then any provisions that the Assembly adopts pretty much means that if you were to set up your own rules for debate to override Robert's rules, it would have to be adopted by everybody, or it would have to be adopted by the Senate, rather. And that's pretty much it for that. Does anybody have any direct questions? Not necessarily discussion.
Question back there.
We can.
It's a constitutional change, so we actually cannot change it until next week.
This is just a forewarning, or not forewarning, introduction.
It's first reading, essentially. Any discussion, not discussion, we can discuss it next time, but is there any kind of questions, concerns about this resolution?
Not understanding what it says or anything.
All right, so next we have Resolution 09-2014-06. It's not that one, just one reason that says 06. All right, and it's the resolution to amend Student Government Association Constitution defining definition of quorum.
I'm not going to read through it because it'll take too much time, but basically the way in the Constitution right now it says a quorum is 50% plus one. That's a bad way to define quorum, because if you have 101 people, quorum under that would be some uneven number, and do you round up, do you round down? And it's just easier to say with quorum that it shall be quorum for Senate business meetings shall be at least 1/2 of the voting members of the Senate. So instead of, you don't have to worry about rounding or whatever. So if there's 101 people, you would need 51 people in order to hold a business meeting. I don't think that the Senate's really going to have a problem with not meeting quorum ever, but it's just in there for the Senate as well as the committees. The committees have a similar definition where it says 50% plus one instead of half or more than half. So any number greater than 0.500000. So it's, for example, 50.01% would satisfy quorum, 50% would not, because that's not more than half, essentially.
All right, any questions about the resolution posed? All right, any discussion about it? Quick discussion? No? All right.
One more.
And the last resolution that's been introduced was 09-2014-07. It's resolution to amend the Student Government Association Constitution defining a term of office. Go ahead.
So actually, the Constitution actually doesn't say what the term of office is. It's in an underlying policy, the Commission and Election Policy, or I don't know what it is exactly called, but that policy that was actually adopted last year in the Senate, I believe. And it defines the term of office there, but that's something that should really be in the Constitution, in my opinion. And that's something that typically in a lot of other organizations, they say that, okay, these positions, they shall have a one-year term unless otherwise stated. So something like the student trustee position, that would be overridden by state statutes. And it wouldn't follow the one-year term, it would follow however that the state says that we have to follow, pretty much. And I'll read this one since it's short. Whereas the current commission policy's definition of a term of office should not be in the subsidiary policy and should instead be located in the SGA Constitution, therefore let it be resolved, quote, unless otherwise stated, the term of all positions in a single academic year positions expire at the end of the academic year, end quote, in Article 3, Section 1 of the SGA Commission policy shall be struck out, and let it further resolved that, quote, unless otherwise defined, the term of office for executive committee members shall be 1 academic year. The officer shall serve until the term expires at the end of the spring semester or a successor is elected, end quote, shall be added at the end of the preamble to Article 3 of the SGA Constitution. Any questions about that? I can't.
What about the summer session?
SGA isn't in session during the summer.
It's not, because, yeah, we're not in session during those times, so it wouldn't count, no.
Yeah. So it'd be fall to spring. It is when the terms are.
So any questions or any other questions, discussion about this? All right, so again, these are constitutional changes. So this is just the first reading. They will be introduced again at the next Senate meeting to be voted on. If you have any kind of questions or comments about it, please reach out to us. Thank you. All right. All right, do we have the results?
Hey everyone. Before I announce the top 3, could you give a round of applause to those 13 candidates? It's very nerve-wracking to stand in front of you guys on a weekly to present why they should be the student trustee. Once again, based on the motion that was passed earlier, the top 3 candidates will go back outside for a second round of voting where the majority, 50 plus 1, would be the next category. So may I ask Ryan Boonstra, Jamie Kissart, and Catherine Light to please step outside. And now we're going to pass the ballots around a second time. I'll pass them out. All right, then please vote again. Those are your 3 candidates. Ryan Boonstra, Jamie Kissart, and Catherine Light. Ryan Boonstra, Jamie Kissart, and Catherine Light. And please hold them up in the air or pass them furthest to your left so that way we can collect them properly. Do we have down there? Sorry, I have all the used ones. How about that one? Oh, Molly has them. Back there? Molly. Oh, there, that's it.
I think we're all trying to do that. Please submit your ballot. Please pass it to your left if you have not done so. I still have to do the whole left-right thing right now. All right, so they're going to count very quickly. With that, I guess we can move on also to kind of the next part so we don't have to waste our time too much. We're going to bring up senator concerns. Are there any senator concerns? You can also come up to the mic if you wish to mic. Any senator concerns right here?
The one by Yogo? I've already talked to them and I've been meeting next Monday about it.
So there's your answer. Good thing we have Jamie. Anyway, next question, or any concerns right here. Okay, so let me just repeat this. So to have a pedestrian crosswalk signal or something like to that. Which location? Okay, so you talk between intramural fields and James. Yeah, so it's like Mimosa or the Mimosa lot, James, and you have the kind of the side coming from the computer side. Okay, so that kind of fork in the road, not really a fork. I don't know how to explain it actually. Okay. Okay, so that's something, Jamie. Yeah, I've heard of that.
I'll just talk loudly, but traffic lights are a little tricky because you actually have to go through like the Department of Transportation, and like you can't just randomly add like a traffic light. We're actually working on getting a traffic light after we build the new engineering building at that intersection of, I think it's Joseph LeBeau, and like if you're coming out past Rowan Hall and you're making like a left or a right towards like 322. They're trying to get a traffic light there. So it's really hard to get an actual signal, but we can work on getting you like some kind of signage, or if you wanted like blinky lights there, that's like hard, but it's a lot easier than getting like a real traffic signal. So you can come talk to me after, and I'll definitely bring up your concern.
We'll look into it. Thank you for that. Any other senator concerns or any concerns about the university as a whole? Wow, that's a good sign at least. I don't want to hear complaining that we're not looking at anything, by the way. No, all right, any other questions or concerns? All right, so general announcements. Are there any general announcements? You come to the podium and do your announcements. I'm going to do a very quick announcement. And can you pass your I was said Sodexo. Wow, that was almost offensive. Oh, I'm sorry. Gourmet dining. I'm not going to go that far low for that. But gourmet dining, please have your gourmet dining cards. You can pass them to the right. Pass them to your right. We're going to the right this time, not the left. And as soon as you pass them down, if you have any kind of announcement, please come up here and say your announcement, please.
Hey guys, just one announcement. Rowan Lab Theater is having their first show this semester. It's the exit interview. It's opening this Friday, Saturday, and a show Sunday afternoon. They're at 8 o'clock, I believe, and come check it out. It's real fun.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. I'm the president of SUP, or Student University Programmers. I have 3 really quick announcements. The first one is for our 48th annual Holiday Helper Auction. This is important for you guys because you're able to earn a service letter. As long as 50% of your club participates by donating a basket to the auction, you'd be able to receive the service letter. The event is on November 18th at 6 p.m. And this year, all funds raised will go to 2 charities, so it is different. The first one goes to Let Them Be Little Foundation, which mission is to brighten the days of sick children. And then the other one is Jason and Justin's Journey ×2, which goes to 2 children who have Hunter syndrome. Second announcement is your club is able to table at our movie night. So if you are interested in promoting your organization, it's free. You'd be able to set up a little table right out in the ballroom. Just tell people as they're coming by what you're all about. And then our third one is our general meeting is on Monday at 9:15 p.m. in 221. Yes? Alyssa. Hart. If any of you, I will be here for about 15 minutes after, so if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Pat. I'm speaking for the Rowan University Students for Sensible Drug Policy chapter, and I'm just announcing that we are having an event called Box City. It will be on October 8th. We'll be sleeping out in cardboard boxes on the Student Center patio. There will be pizza, coffee, there will be prizes and a box building contest, and this whole event is just put on to say that we are not okay with Rowan University's current drug policy, which prioritizes punishment over healing and literally makes students homeless. Oh, and we'll also be collecting food for the homeless in Philly, and non-perishable food and blankets. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Katerina again. I'm representing Sigma Alpha Lambda, which is our National Honor Society leadership and achievement, all that kind of good stuff. We just want to tell you that our next meeting is today is Monday, so Wednesday at 8 o'clock in James 1115. Please come out. We'd love to get more support. We have a lot of people come out to the first meeting, but as long as you have a 3.0, you are good. So please come out and join us. There's always raffles at the end of meetings, and we have food a lot of times. And also, I'm also part of PRSSA, and there is going to be Dance Away Cystic Fibrosis. You will hear me every time I'm here talking about it because it is an awesome opportunity for you guys to get involved in. If your club is interested in getting a service letter, please talk to me. Come up to me after the meeting, and I can get you kind of situated with what you could do. We are trying to raise about $2,000 for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in memory of Colette Blystein, who was a Rowan student who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago from cystic fibrosis. So those are my announcements. Bye.
Hello, everyone. My name's Kaylee Whiting. I'm here from PRISM, formerly the GSA, Gay Straight Alliance, yeah. Last Senate meeting, I think we announced that we were going to do Rocky Horror in November 1st. I just want to change that around and tell you all that we actually are not doing Rocky Horror anymore. For a variety of reasons, a group of students came up to us and told us that, you know, they didn't feel like it represented them, that it made our club an unsafe space. If any of you have questions about Rocky Horror or why we changed it, I will be here for like 10 minutes after the meeting. Thank you.
How you guys doing? I'm Andrew. This is my buddy Tyrell. We're from the ROTC program, and we're also in the New Jersey National Guard. And we're doing a service project where we send care packages to New Jersey National Guard soldiers that are deployed right now overseas. Many of them we know personally, and many of them also go to Rowan. They're in frats, they're in sororities. So a care package is basically a gift basket, if you will, that has odds and ends that they can use to make their deployment easier, such as deodorant, shaving cream, shampoo, toothpaste. So if you want to participate, I'll hang out at the end for 10 minutes. If you want more details, you will get a service letter if you do this. And it's just a good thing to do for your own New Jersey National Guard soldiers. So, Andrew Kravetsky. Need me to spell that, or KREVETSKI. Tyrell and I are with Rowan ROTC, and we're in the New Jersey National Guard, same unit as the guys that are overseas right now.
Hey guys, it's a good cause. You know, we'd be overseas now with them right now if we hadn't gotten contracted with the ROTC program. So right now we're kind of feeling for our troops that are overseas. So like you said, we'll be sitting in a corner somewhere so you guys can come see us if you guys are interested. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Nicolette Camachon. I'm the president of Prof Pac. I'm also a class senator. Just want to let you know about the Prof Pac tailgate, which is October 11th. It's the next home football game. We're playing William Patterson University. We'll be set out at 11 o'clock in Lot D behind the stadium, and the game starts at 1 p.m. It's going to be an awesome event. We're inviting all of the clubs to come out and participate. There's going to be free food, music, games, prizes, and all that jazz. So if you're interested, you want to get involved, just come on out, or you can get your club involved by emailing profpacru@gmail.com, and we'll love to see you there.
I just wanted to let everybody know that these are your class senators for the 2014-2015 year. If you guys could just stand up real quick and give a wave so that students can approach you. They're for the 2015, 16, 17, and 18. So if any of you have any questions or concerns, you can direct them toward them. We'll also be sending out an email to everybody enrolled in each class introducing themselves, and they'll also have a picture of them so that you guys can approach them more easily. Thank you.
They were so happy standing up, I can tell. All right, so, oh, good.
Sorry. I'll do it this one. So, hi again. I'm the AVP of Governmental Relations. My committee meeting is next Monday, 8 p.m. in Library Room 126. I'm actually doing a workshop about how to properly fill out a voter registration form and like how to approach people about that and how to do it correctly. If you're in my committee, I'll see you there. If you're volunteering for the drive, I will also see you there preferably. And also if you're just interested, swing by, 8 p.m., Library Room 126. Thank you.
All right, everyone, so we do have the results for the election. However, there's some good news and bad news. Good news is people voted. Second, bad news is that we have to vote again. There was not majority vote. So the results were Ryan Boonstra with 30 votes at 31% of the count, Jamie Kistart 41 votes with 43% of the count, and Catherine Light with 26 votes, 27% of the count. So we do need to vote again. However, I am going to entertain the motion to cut the last person in this group with the least amount of votes so that we can get to a simple majority faster. Otherwise, we would have to continue voting until we can get to, if we're to do the 3 people, we would need 49 votes for the magic number. So I am going to entertain that motion. If not, we can just continue doing the votes for the 3 people. Is there any discussion or any kind of, is anyone going to entertain my motion to get rid of the last person in the voting? I see hands. All right. All right, so moved. Is there a second? Well, okay, yes, I'm sorry. So moved in second. All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those against, say nay. Okay, all right, so we're going to get rid of the last person. So Catherine, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. And with that, we're going to vote again with Ryan Boonstra and Jamie Kistart. Can Ryan and Jamie please leave the room, please? Thank you.
Because I don't have that many ballots ever printed because I didn't know we were going to do 3 rounds, we are going to do this final vote by placard. So it is very important that you use these placards and you make sure they're still because we need to count exactly. All right, you want to call for Jamie?
All right, so all those in favor for Jamie, please raise your placards. At least you all have the chance to use the placards. I know everyone was so sad not being able to use the placards earlier. Just make sure you raise them high. All right, all those in favor for Ryan Boonstra, please raise your placards. Alrighty. Can you bring him in, Drew? Thank you. Also, you can clap after I say it this time, by the way. I'm not going to have a rule against clapping for this. All right, congratulations to our new student trustee, Jamie Kistart. All right. Again, thank you for all those who did apply to the trustee position, did not get it. We do thank you very much for at least coming out. I know it's a risk. So we now have a vacant facilities position if you're looking for that. So with that, an election commissioner, and we have volunteers as well. So a lot of different positions open. With that, we do have adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn? All right, all those in favor? All those against? All right, motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.